been turned on. Please be in your seats with the seatbelts fastened. Thank you. After this announcement, the plane goes into chaos, clattering luggage in the overhead compartment, screaming babies, screaming adults. This is turbulence. Whether or not you've been on a plane before, we can all agree that this is not the ideal situation to be in. Only a masochist would find a thrill in being shaken around in the sky with the threat of looming death. Within the past 20 years of me being on this earth, I've taken to the skies at least 60 times. Many times I experienced delays, rescheduling, and turbulence. When passengers fly with Skywalker Airlines, they will no longer have to worry about turbulence and their carbon footprint. In this speech, I will go over the turbulent effect of climate change on plane travel, how Skywalker Airlines can solve this problem, and what you can do to experience this revolutionary flight. In our world full of wonder, it is only natural for us to want to explore, leading to the increase of influx in airplane travel. However, this world is rapidly dying due to climate change or global warmings. Scott Newman says in his 2023 article, airline passengers could be in for a rougher ride thanks to climate change, published on NPR, that cloudless skies and bad weather from climate change are to blame for frequent and violent turbulence. The rising level of greenhouse gases leads to the increase of global temperature, which then leads to sudden change in wind speed and direction. You may argue that turbulence is only natural in airplane travel. Well, this level of turbulence is at a totally different level in which people may be subject to internal bleeding and fractures due to all the bumping around and shaking in the sky, as mentioned earlier. According to Luke Storer, Paul Williams, and Manoj Doshi, in their 2017 Geophysical Research Letters, Global Response of Clear Air Turbulence to Climate Change, Volume 44, Issue 19, clear air turbulence is one of the largest causes of weather-related aviation incidents and severe bumpiness in flight, leading to hospitalization. Unfortunately, these clear air turbulences are often unavoidable due to being invisible to the naked eye and undetectable on on-plane sensors. In the case of predicted storms, flights would often be rerouted or delayed to avoid being affected by turbulence. However, being rerouted leads to longer flights, which leads to more fuel needed to be used, which then leads to more emissions being out in the atmosphere. Another drawback of having flights canceled or rescheduled are the angry passengers who came to the airport assuming they would be going to Hawaii this weekend. In order to rid of turbulence and climate change, we have a solution. Now introducing Skywalker Airlines. Although we can't jump to hyperspace, our airliners go at 600 miles per hour with no delay or disturbances. Bruce Lieberman reports in the article, A Brief Intro to Climate Change and Transportation, published 2019 on Yale Climate Connections, airlines contribute about 2% of global greenhouse gases, and by 2050, these emissions are projected to go up by 300 to 700%. Although 2% may seem like a little, Skywalker Airlines is doing the world a favor 20 years down the road. As you can see, this is the airplane. Instead of using like fuel, like usual airlines, we have this airline using solar panels and hydrogen fuel cells. This is the process of converting seawater to hydrogen. The oxygen extracted from this process will go into aquaculture so that there's no greenhouse emissions from this. Now, without Skywalker Airlines, your travel plans are already ruined. In a survey I conducted, I found over half of this class used or plan on using airplane travel for vacation. Now, imagine somewhere along the line, you and your beloved go board on unnamed airlines to go on your honeymoon. Unfortunately, your plan is struck with turbulence and technical issues. Your partner, gripping your hand, asks you, are we going to make it? Well, chances are you and the rest of the passengers will make it. No one will die. However, I can't guarantee you someone a few rows beyond you won't projectile vomit. And now, I wouldn't want to deal with that either. It was either this or an equally nauseating 10-hour car ride. However, with Skywalker Airlines, you can put your worries aside and imagine the pleasant memories you'll be making on this honeymoon. Y'all may be wondering, how can you secure seats on this state-of-the-art airline? Well, let me reassure you, it won't cost you an arm and a leg. Round-trip tickets for Skywalker Airlines are average about $300 per round trip, but terms and conditions apply. We encourage passengers to try out our reduced carbon footprint deal, in which if you have below the United States average carbon footprint or shown a reduction within the past few years, you are eligible to a generous discount. According to the United States Environmental Protection Agency carbon footprint calculator, the average American has a carbon footprint of 16 tons, which is 4 times the global average. Every 2 tons above this average, we will charge you a hefty fee and you will receive some scorned looks from our flight crew. Coming to the end of my speech, I've covered the effects of climate change and airplane travel have on each other, how Skywalker Airlines hit 2 birds with 1 stone, and what you can do to land yourself on your ticket to the next dream vacation. Let anxiety of turbulence and climate change dissipate when you fly with Skywalker Airlines. Book a flight today, and may the force be with you. Thank you.